What's up, everybody? I figured I would start this video out with showing you the back of my vest. My very Daryl Dixon Angel Wing vest. Hopefully you can see that. Very cool, but that I thought that would just be a cool intro to the video that I'm going to make tonight. I'm going to try to make this a fun video out of a very serious topic. So I thought you guys would like my Daryl Dixon vest because I kind of out of all the people in The Walking Dead, I'm definitely Daryl Dixon. As a matter of fact, they stole that character. That's me. That is 100% me in that show. Alright, so that's my fun little intro. What's up, everybody? This is me. This is my third and final part. This is my final video here. I wanted to make a video about my mistakes that I have made personally as a man and how you can avoid them. There's a lot that I could get into here, but I'm going to limit it to two stories that are very important to me. So, I went to ETSU as a college student, okay, and I fell in love with this redhead. I won't say her name, but I was so in love with her, man. And the only thing I ever said to her was, I really like your hair. I think it's pretty. And this woman thought enough of me, thought I was special enough, right, to look me up. This woman went to crazy like 007 links to look me up. She looked up my name in the computer system, looked up my name in her classes, and was able to find me and figure out who I was and come up to me and ask me out. And that was so special to me. I have never had a woman like think that much of me before. I was so nervous. I was like, yeah, because this woman was beautiful. Beautiful in my eyes. She had red hair and big brown eyes. She was absolutely gorgeous. And I was like, wow, this woman thinks this much of me. Like, she wants to ask me out. Like, I'm cool or something. I was somehow able to convince this lady that I was cool. So, we went out. You know, she walked up to me. I'll never forget it. I was at the very back of our psychology class. And she walked up to me, and I was 26 and she was 18 at the time. I'll say what you will about people, but young girls tend to like older men. Older men tend to like younger girls. That's just the reality of the situation. I'm not saying that's everyone, but that's the reality of certain situations. And so she asked me if I'd like to hang out with her, and I was like, hell yeah! Like, I'm trying not to be that excited because I'm trying to come off as like just a regular dude, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to play because women like cool men, you know. I'm like, yeah, we hang out. That's cool. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, but inside I'm like, oh my god, I'm so excited, nervous. And so we hang out and stuff, and one thing leads to another, and we start dating, and we make love, and I'm head over heels in love with this woman. I cannot tell you how much I love this woman. I loved her. I really loved her. I wanted to marry her. Well, come to find out, she was in love still with an ex. She was a young girl. It's not her fault. I should have been the adult in the situation. This is on me. This is my fault. I was not the adult. She should have been the adult. Or, excuse me, I should have been the adult. None of this blame goes on her. I should have been the adult in the situation, not her. She was still in love with her ex, and she left me for him. And that's okay. Because, like I said, it's my fault. I should have been more alert on the situation. And just is what it is. I mean, she loved him over me. And so she left me. We did it for about 6 months. I was really head over heels in love with her. And she left me for him. And she had a son with him. And that's okay. Like I said, it's my fault. I should have been the adult in the situation. So about a year passes, maybe a couple years, and she gets in touch with me again, and me and her start hanging out. And I love her son. He's a good kid. I wish he was my kid, but he's not. But I wish he was. And we played dinosaurs, and his birthday came up. And I bought him a whole bunch of dinosaur stuff because he liked dinosaurs, man. So we played dinosaurs, and I taught him how to play baseball, and we threw ball out in the yard, and I taught him how to box, how to fight, and I taught him some basic martial arts. I've been studying martial arts all my life. And his mom's kind of flaky. I love her to death. I will not say her name because I won't disrespect her, but she's flaky, to say the least. And she just didn't love me like that. And that's okay. I'm not mad at her. But she was never in love with me, and she just decided to be with someone else. And I really miss her son. So I would say my mistake on that one was make sure someone loves you before you take on the load of being a father to their kid. I don't regret what I did. I love him. I wish he was my son. I'd give my life for him in a heartbeat. But he's not mine. I don't have any rights to him. But before you really fall in love with someone, get to know them and make sure they have good character, and they are of good character. And the second story I'll tell you is of someone that I really thought was a brother, Shane. I've mentioned him before in these stories. Shane, man, I don't know how to explain this. I've done factories all my life. I've done factories for like 14 years, okay? So when you're doing factory work, it's kind of like prison mode. Because everybody you're working with, or most of the people you're working with, are felons. So it's like you're working with a bunch of felons, a bunch of prisoners. And you get used to that environment, that mentality, if you will. And Shane seemed like he was an honorable guy. He had done time for some minor drug charges. And I'm not stupid. I see what's happening. I'm witnessing what's happening. I see that this guy he was 35 at the time. I see he has a wife and a son. And I also see he's buying pills from a piece of shit we used to work with. And me and Shane get really close, and we hang out and stuff. And one weekend, we hang out, and I tell Shane, well, I'll tell my story too, because this is where I messed up. I made the biggest mistake of my life. This is when I was drinking really heavily. I was really depressed over the woman that I was in love with, and that I couldn't have kids. Well, not that I can't have kids, but I didn't have children. I don't have kids. That depresses me. I can have them biologically, but I don't have any, so it made me upset. And don't ever do this. I did wrong. This is me doing wrong here, me admitting to it. I was drinking and driving. I should have never done that. I wrecked in a ditch. Shane came and got me, and the state trooper believed my lie that I wasn't drinking, that I was just lost and it was dark, and he let me go. Believe that or not, that guy let me go. Now, what I did was wrong. Don't ever drink and drive. I made a huge mistake. That was a poor, judgment on my personal behalf of I made a big mistake. And I'm sorry. And I'm glad nobody got hurt. Please don't ever do what I did. That was so stupid. And if I could take it back, I would. But Shane came and got me, and I got to spend the weekend with his wife. Real pretty girl. Beautiful woman. And his son. And I'm not damn stupid. I know what happens in factories. It's just like living in a prison. And I said, Shane, I know, I'm not blind. I see you buying pills from such and such. I won't throw out their name. I shouldn't probably even be throwing Shane's name out there, but I am. I'm not going to say his last name, obviously. But I said, Shane, I see you buying pills from such and such. And he's like, oh, for real, you see that? I'm like, yeah, man, I see it. I'm not fucking blind, bro. What are you talking about? Factories are kind of like prisons. Everybody you're working with is pretty much a felon. It's street rules. It's street law. You cannot let them punk you. And if you really care about them, you gotta call them out on their bullshit. You have to. That's just the way it is. And I told Shane, I was like, look, brother. I was like, I see what you're doing. I see you buying pills. Look, you have a beautiful wife. She is a beautiful woman. And this woman she was gorgeous. And he had a son. And he had a beautiful house with hardwood floors in it. I was like, brother. I owe you my life. I would give you my life. If I call you brother, I will lay my life down for you. And you know what? Even though Shane screwed me over, I'd still lay my life down for the guy. Because I love him. Once I have that loyalty for you, I got you. I just got you forever. I got your back. No matter what. Now, I know he don't feel that way about me, but I'm just that way. Anyway, so I was able to convince him to kind of get off the pills and stuff. And one thing led to another. And me and Dusty was our supervisor. He was an ignorant person. I'm trying not to curse so much in this video. Dusty was an ignorant person, and we got into it one night. Well, we just got into it. I had already had another job. I was like, Shane, I'm leaving. I hate it here. I'm miserable here. I've spent 3.5 years. I feel like I'm in prison. Running my ass off, up and down stairs. There's no breaks, man. I'm tired. I don't want to do this anymore, bro. Like, if I had a wife and children, I'd keep doing this. I'd continue, but I have nothing. There is no woman that is in love with me. I have no children. I'm tired. I don't want to do this anymore, brother. So I found another job. And Dusty had gotten word of this. And I'll never forget this. There was a confrontation. And I'm not bragging about what I did. I'm not trying to say I'm some kind of a hard ass or anything. I just don't take any shit from anybody. If you want to throw hands, bro, we'll throw hands. Cool. I'm cool with that. So Dusty comes up and he's like, well, I heard you leaving. And yeah. And I was like, yeah, man, I am leaving. I was like, what you want to do about that? I was like, matter of fact, I won't go into everything I said to him because it's kind of disrespectful. But, I basically just told him, I was like, look, man, I'm leaving. I'm tired. I don't want to do this no more. I was like, I don't like you. I don't respect you. I think you're a piece of crap. I think Shane should have got the supervisor role. I know you sell drugs to other people here. I know you cheat on your wife. You're a piece of crap. It's like, you're lucky I don't whoop your ass right here and now. And he didn't know how to respond to that. He was scared. You could see it in his eyes. He was scared to death of me at that point. He was like, well, I need you to get out of here. And I was like, F you, man. F you. Because I was in that I was in that confrontation mode. Sometimes being in a factory is like being in a prison. You have to stand your ground because you're working with felons. You can't let them punk you, bro. You cannot. So I was like, F you, man. What you want to do, bro? Let's get down to it. Let's throw hands. Well, he didn't want to throw hands because he was too cowardly for that. And so Shane, hollered at me from the other end of the, he was standing right there. He was like, Eli, calm down, bro. That's how I took my safety glasses off and threw them in Dusty's chest. I was like, pick those up, bitch. I'm out of here. And I gave Shane a high five, told him I loved him, told him he was my brother. I got my lunchbox and I left. Could I have handled the situation better? Yeah, probably. But you get in that mentality, that warrior mentality. You have to handle things like a man, straight up. You got to throw hands. And because I embarrassed Dusty in front of everybody, and everybody realized, like, oh, this dude wouldn't throw hands with Eli. Like, Eli punked his ass out. He wouldn't throw hands. He was afraid Eli was going to whoop his ass. But after that, I never heard from Shane again. Ever. And right then I knew, like, oh, man, damn. Like, somebody that I thought was my brother played me. This dude played me, bro. Shane played me because he knew I had his back. He knew I had his back in work. He knew I'd fight for him. He knew I'd work for him. This dude played me. He played me, bro. So that was a bad experience. The only real brothers I would say that I have in my life are Richard Wiley and I would say David Osteen. David Osteen's a good guy. He has my back. He might not always like me. He might not always like the things I say, but I know that he's got my back. And Richard Wiley has my back too. And of course, my dad has my back, but my dad's an old man. I can't expect my dad to fight anybody. But there are people that are your brothers and they do have your back, and there's people that not. You might love those people, but they don't have your back. So those are the mistakes that I have made in my life. Hope this, connects with someone. I'm sorry if this was too personal for somebody. These are my personal stories. But, I'm really thankful that I have certain individuals out there like Richard Wiley that are my brothers and that would really have my back in a fight. And David Osteen. I mean, he might be a little crazy sometimes, but shit. Ain't we all? Ain't we all a little crazy? I'm a little crazy. David puts up with my shit. So how can I really say I don't put up with his? You know what I'm saying? And Richard's a saint. That man is a saint among men. He's a way better man than me. But he'll still fight for me. He'll still throw hands. You know what I'm saying? He's a great man. He's not a coward by any means. He will still whoop somebody's ass. So, it is what it is, man. I mean, and I told y'all the true story about my mistakes. And I hope you've learned from it. And I hope you don't make those mistakes. So, peace, love. I love y'all. Have a great day.